Hello, everybody. It's Jennifer here. Thank you so very much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. If you're here, type into the chat box, say hello. Let me know you're here. Just type into the chat box, say hello, let me know you're here. There's a bit of a delay for those of you who have not used Webinar Jam before. So that's why I'm going to pause for a second and wait to see who types into the chat box. Don't be shy. Shout out, let me know you're here. If you're here, type into the chat box, let me know you're here. Just waiting a couple seconds for everybody to join. It looks like it's taking a little bit slower to load for some reason, I think, possibly for some people. If you have issues throughout this webinar, you can click the blue button at the bottom that says reconnect, and that should hopefully reconnect the webinar for you. So I'm just waiting to make sure that I'm looking at another session in case you wonder why I keep looking. I'm just looking to make sure that it actually is loading in the other session and that it's working. So bear with me 1 second. There might be an issue right now with YouTube. So if you're watching me on the replay, you'll know why I'm kind of sitting here. I'm not sure why this is not loading. Give me 1 second here. I will be right back. Okay, I'm trying this one more time. If you can see me, please type into the chat box, let me know. I have another session open on another computer and it's not able to connect to this webinar. So I just want to make sure that you can see me. Okay, good. Thanks, Erica. Just want to make sure I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, hi, Rose. How you doing? Hi, Jessica. If you're here, say hi. Let me know you're here. Say hi into the chat box. Sorry for the little delay getting started. I just wanted to make sure, like I said, everybody could see and hear me before I started. So thank you so very much for being here. I really, really appreciate your time and just for you being here. So, I'm doing well. Thanks, Rose. Hi, Cheryl. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my PowerPoint presentation with you. And then at the end of the presentation, I'll be doing a live Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can ask me then. You can also ask me questions throughout the presentation. You can just type them into the chat box, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions during the presentation. Hi, Angela. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So just 1 second while I share my PowerPoint with you. Hi, Denise. Okay. Okay. So if you have any connectivity issues during this webinar, there's a button at the bottom. It's a blue button. It says reconnect. So if something happens where like the sound stops or the video stops or whatever for you, just click that blue reconnect button at the bottom, and hopefully that should fix your issues. Hi, Bridget. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you again so very much for being here. I really appreciate your time. So I'm Jennifer McKee. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach, transformation specialist, and founder of McKee Health Transformations. And so today I have a lot of amazing information I want to share with you about how to lose the weight without dieting. And I want to quickly tell you the reason why I created this webinar, because there's a lot of hype, myths, and misconceptions around dieting, what the perfect program is, etc. And we live in a world of information where you can Google any subject, buy any book, and just become so overloaded with information. But for many people, all of the diet books, the TV shows, and Googling leads them to become confused about what to eat and how to create long-term habit changes. In other words, how to lose the weight and keep it off. So there's many supplements, expensive programs, equipment, all that kind of stuff out there that's aimed at people who have awareness around healthy eating, who want to do something, but they don't have the right kind of information to make an informed decision. So tonight, I'm going to give you information about eating clean, eating for energy, mindset changes so that you can stay committed to yourself, and also how to never diet again. So you're in the right place if you find yourself craving unhealthy foods throughout the day. You want to look and feel good without living on a diet. You want to lose some extra pounds. Maybe you want glowing skin, or you want more energy. The secret is what works and what causes all of these things to happen is clean eating most of the time, okay? It's not an all or nothing thing, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. But most of the time, eating clean and changing your relationship with yourself, learning how to love yourself unconditionally and not beat yourself up when you make a mistake. And I'm going to talk more about that in detail shortly. But before I go any further, I want to give a brief introduction on myself for those of you who don't know me. So as I said, I'm Jennifer McKee. Hello. Integrative nutrition health coach, transformation specialist. And I created my own company, McKee Health Transformations, last September. So as an integrative nutrition health coach is a guide and mentor who empowers you and provides ongoing support and guidance as you set goals and make sustainable changes that improve your health and happiness. So I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, and I'm not a personal trainer. Health coaches and transformation specialists are masters of habit change, and they inspire people to create habits that support their well-being. So we don't only advise and inform, but we help transform people. So I help hold my clients accountable for their actions, and in a very non-judgmental way, I help pick them back up when they fall until they're able to do that on their own. I also help clients address their underlying issues for why they stay stuck. A lot of people stay stuck in a vicious cycle of yo-yo dieting, and they can't seem to figure out why. So I help people with that. So I was inspired to become a health coach from my own personal experience. For many years, I ate foods that were toxic to my body, and I didn't realize the extent of just how toxic these foods were. So these foods caused me to gain weight, feel bloated, have low energy, not feel good physically or mentally. And I yo-yoed on so many diets. I was always looking for a quick fix, right? How many of you here can relate to that? So if you can relate to that, you know what I'm talking about. So sometimes I would lose weight with those quick fixes, but the weight would always come back plus more. I also had an issue with emotional eating and binge eating. So the two go hand in hand, actually. So I hit rock bottom when I was morbidly obese at 358 pounds. That picture on the left is me. I think that was about 358 pounds. And I was addicted to fast food, restaurant food, processed foods, and I had a number of health issues, including severe plantar fasciitis and tarsal tunnel syndrome in both feet. Tarsal tunnel syndrome is like carpal tunnel syndrome, except it's in your feet, so you get shooting nerve pain. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, hypothyroidism, eczema, and acid reflux. Now, the plantar fasciitis and tarsal tunnel syndrome limited my mobility and caused chronic pain. So I wasn't able to walk very much without excruciating pain and shooting nerve pain. Now, my weight did not cause the foot issue, but it obviously intensified it. And I knew that if I continued eating the way that I was, that I would end up with more health issues, such as type 2 diabetes. And I also knew that the pressure on my feet would just keep getting worse. So I just kept making excuses, though. I just kept emotionally eating and not taking care of myself. And it wasn't intentional. It's just that I didn't know how to start because I'd let my weight get so out of control. And by this point, I was disgusted with myself, and I just kept myself in this vicious cycle of wanting to get healthy, making a small step in that direction, but then I'd always go back to my poor eating habits. I wasn't committed to myself, and I couldn't figure out how to commit to myself. So finally, I committed to myself, and I didn't even know how, really. I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't know if I could reach my goals. I didn't know any of that. So what I did was I began making small baby steps toward my ultimate goal, which was to create a maintainable, healthy lifestyle by eating whole foods and adding exercise to my life. I was not interested in yo-yo diets or quick fixes because I know that those things don't work. I was not interested in depriving myself because I know that that doesn't work. Eating 500 calories a day or 1,000 calories a day, that doesn't work. So I was like, I got to do this the right way if I'm going to lose this weight and keep it off. But I honestly didn't even think I could lose that much weight. So within 15 months from the start of my journey, I lost 185 pounds naturally, which is over 50% of my body weight. And I did this without dieting, without surgery, without starvation, without any weight loss drugs, shakes, gimmicks, anything like that. Many people have a hard time believing this. I have a hard time believing this myself, but it's true. And I have so many people tell me, Jennifer, it's so great what you've done, but I could never do that. That's where you're wrong. That is where you're wrong. Everybody is capable of great, amazing things. When your mind and body work together, you're going to be amazed at what you can accomplish. And, my weight loss did not require 8-hour workout sessions or anything like that. It just required determination and dedication and not quitting when I messed up. Now, I want to say something really important here. There is no quick fix to create a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. There is no quick fix to lose the weight and keep it off. So I just want to make sure that that is clear. And you probably already know that. If you're in this webinar, you probably already know that. Okay, so I ended up getting surgery on both feet. I still experience some pain, but my physical activity level has dramatically improved. I ran my first 10K, which is 6.2 miles nonstop without walking on January 28th. I ran my first half marathon, which is 13.1 miles on April 9th. That's the picture there on the screen. That was after my half marathon. So that was a really big accomplishment for me because a few years ago, I could barely walk and I didn't think I would be able to walk around my block, let alone run. So that is just amazing for me. After only 3 months of gradually eating less processed foods and more whole foods, my blood pressure and cholesterol dramatically improved. Now my blood pressure and cholesterol are normal. I no longer have acid reflux, and I haven't had an eczema breakout in about a year and a half. I suffered with eczema for about almost 20 years. It was constantly broke out. I haven't had it at all. And that just shows that it was related to nutrition. So my transformation has created a pathway for me to educate you on health and wellness. I developed a strong passion and desire to help others with creating sustainable, healthy habits. So committing to myself and those small gradual changes was the first step to my success, and you can do it too. And I'm not telling you all of this stuff about me to pat myself on the back. I'm sharing this with you to show you that you don't have to go another day feeling hopeless or overwhelmed or hating yourself. And it's much easier than you think, especially when you have a step-by-step system to follow. So later tonight, at the very end of this webinar, I'm going to be talking to you about my online group guided program that starts on Monday. And I'm going to be offering participants of this webinar a 10% discount. So if you're interested in that, you're going to want to stick around to hear about that. I want to talk just briefly about Chris and Heidi Powell. I'm not sure if you know who they are. They're a married couple. They're two of the best transformation specialists in the industry. They had a show on ABC called Extreme Weight Loss, where they helped extremely obese people transform their lives. So I was lucky enough to meet them, which is that picture in the top left. I met them during my journey. At that point, I'd lost 126 pounds. I met them at a book signing in Phoenix. They actually live in Phoenix as well. So I told them my story, and Heidi was just blown away and decided to she wanted to put my story on her blog. So she did that in April of last year. And then just in March of this year, that's what the other pictures are from, I actually was one of 4 people to participate in a coach's workshop with the Pals, where they taught us more about their transformation secrets and, you know, how they coach their clients and all that kind of stuff. And I've implemented that into my coaching business as well. So I just want to tell you some of the things they've said about me. So Chris says, we're honored to call her a good friend. And I must say she is one of the most aware and insightful coaches I've ever met. Heidi says, this is what true transformation looks like. Now a PAL certified transformation specialist, Jennifer is paying it forward and changing the lives of many others. I couldn't be prouder. And I'm just so unbelievably grateful. I was that person who used to watch Extreme Weight Loss and be eating like a bag of potato chips, wishing that I was that person on the show Extreme Weight Loss, right? And so the fact that now I'm on the other end of this is completely amazing to me. And I never thought that I could get here. So I just want to really thank Chris and Heidi for their support. They've been amazing. They're just amazing, genuine people, and very, very grateful. Okay, so let's get into the main core of the presentation now. So first I want to give you some facts on weight loss. And I'm sure that these facts are not going to surprise you. 30% of Americans are trying to lose weight. Another 30% are trying to maintain their weight. 2/3 who lose weight on diets gain it back within 1 year. I'm sure that doesn't surprise you. And 98% of dieters gain their weight back and more within 2 years. And I'm sure that also doesn't surprise you. I mean, I fell into both of those categories for so many years. So let's talk a little bit about why diets don't work. The majority of diets are not balanced, and they're based on extreme measures, you know, maybe like eating 500 calories, eating 1,000 calories, or, you know, eating or drinking only juices, or, you know, drinking only shakes, or whatever the case is. And so you're going to feel deprived and or starved, and it just makes it impossible to stick with. Most diets do not consider your unique needs. There is a one-size-fits-all mentality, and that's just not practical. Everyone's body is different and reacts to foods in different ways. Few diets tackle the core issues of keeping blood sugar balanced, improving digestion, and balancing overall health. Few diets look at the whole picture of health, such as food, exercise, lifestyle, stress, and your relationship with yourself, so your mindset. So many diets do not even look at that. And honestly, I believe if your mindset's not right, it doesn't matter how much you know about nutrition or exercise, you're not going to be able to lose the weight. You have to get your mindset in the right place. So we can become in a state of emergency. So when the body does not have the right fuel, we crash and burn, and we can experience mood swings, brain fog, exhaustion, indigestion. Have you experienced any of these, by the way? I know I did. Belly bloat, headaches, migraines, acne, and skin rashes. So that was my daily life. That used to be my daily life. And I used to think that that was normal. But now I've since found out that that is not normal. That's not how you're supposed to feel. So your brain and body deserve to be fueled and not inflamed or deprived. So there is a solution. First, learning how to make small changes for long-term results. And we're going to talk a little bit about this later. Achieving balance in your body by giving it the right fuel. So food has the ability to change every aspect of your life, body and mind. And when you give your body the nutrients that it needs, it's going to perform very efficiently as it's intended. And weight loss is just going to be a byproduct. learning how to change your mindset in relationship with yourself. So when you learn how to love yourself unconditionally, accept that you don't have to be perfect, learn how to give yourself compassion instead of beating yourself up when you mess up, your life is going to be changed. You're going to be able to commit to yourself. You're going to become empowered. You're going to want to put yourself first. You know, a lot of people tell me that they struggle with that, putting themselves first. You know, they got kids, they have work, they have like all these other responsibilities. The thing is that you're always going to have those other responsibilities. And if you don't take care of your health, you're not going to be around very long to take care of your children or, you know, work or whatever it is. So your health should be your number one priority, because without our health, we have absolutely nothing. We owe it to ourselves and our family to take care of ourselves. And I don't know about you, but it's not just about living as long as I can. It's about living quality years. And if you don't take care of your health, you're not going to be living quality years if you get sick or whatever the case may be. So when you put yourself first, you're just going to feel healthier and happier. You're then going to be able, like I just said, to give more of your love and your gifts to your loved ones. Because I don't know about you, but if you don't get enough nutrients, of the right nutrients, or maybe you don't get enough water, or you don't get enough sleep, or whatever the case is, what usually happens is we become irritable. We don't feel well. Sometimes we get irritable, we take it out on others, or maybe we're just too tired to fulfill our responsibilities, or whatever the case may be. So the more that you nourish your body, your mind and your body, you're going to be able to give more, take care of your responsibilities better. So when you eat the right food, you're going to lose weight as a byproduct. It's just going to be a byproduct. You're going to feel satisfied and ditch the cravings. When you give your body the nutrients it needs, and I actually experienced this firsthand, like if you give yourself enough protein, enough healthy fats, enough carbs, enough this, enough that, your cravings will actually disappear. It's really quite remarkable. It's one of the most amazing things I discovered on my journey. I couldn't believe it. It was pretty crazy. But you're going to sleep better and have more energy. Your fitness levels are going to increase. You're going to strengthen your immune system. So you're not going to get sick as much. I don't get sick hardly ever. The last time I got sick, I don't even remember. It's been like over a year. You're going to also reduce inflammation and have great skin. So I want to talk a little bit what I mean by clean eating. So clean eating is eating mostly whole foods. It's limiting processed foods. So that doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't necessarily mean you don't eat any processed foods, because that's a little difficult. But let me explain to you what I mean by a processed food. I mean something that has additions of any kind. So, if the manufacturer is adding salt, sugar, or fat to aid the flavor, or if they're adding preservatives to keep the food from spoiling too quickly, if they're adding vitamins to enrich the food, they do that to beverages and cereal and all kinds of stuff. So if they're adding anything to the food, that's considered a processed food. If they're changing the form of natural food, that's also considered processed food. So an example of this would be if they're removing bran and germ from the whole grains to create a refined bread. That's an example of where they're changing the natural form of the food. Also, a processed food are foods with components manufactured in a lab. And I probably don't need to clarify on this one, but if you read the ingredient list of your foods like I do, if you see something that you can't pronounce, most likely that's a pretty solid indication that it's not natural, and that's a chemical added. And sometimes the chemical is added for flavor, sometimes it's added to preserve the shelf life. There's many different reasons why the chemical is added. So anything with chemicals, anything like that, that's going to be considered a processed food. I believe that clean eating means no soda, and that means diet as well. So diet soda, regular soda, all that stuff has so many chemicals and things like high fructose corn syrup, aspartame, that kind of stuff, which is not good for your body. Also, clean eating means limiting sugar and sweets. It really means that you use natural sweeteners more than refined sugars. So, for example, you would use coconut sugar, maple syrup, honey, that kind of stuff as sweeteners, but you would use that in moderation. So why is clean eating important? It's important because our bodies become a wasteland for all of the processed foods, alcohol, sugars, toxins that we consume, often even without us knowing it. And those toxins disrupt the pH balance in our bodies, causing pain and inflammation, such as bloating, acne, other skin issues, premature aging, painful joints, digestive issues, and even disease. So the benefits of eating clean are obviously your inflammation will decrease. You're going to balance your blood sugar. You're going to prevent disease. You're going to lose weight by eating real food. You're not going to be starving yourself. You're going to learn how to create balanced meals. And most importantly, you're going to ditch the diet mentality forever. And I want to make this clear. You don't have to eat clean 100% of the time. See, that's where I used to get hung up. Like when I was addicted to fast food and restaurant food, I had tried to eat clean, but I could never do it for longer than like a couple of days. And that's because I was trying to eat 100% clean. When I started my journey, I had to really slowly ease into things so I didn't feel overwhelmed and quit. I had to just start making smarter choices. So I was not eating, I eat really clean now, but I was not eating this clean. It took me many, many months to get to where I am now. So don't feel like you have to eat 100% clean. Right now I eat probably like 85 to 95%, well, 90, let's say 85 to 90% clean. And the rest of the time I allow myself to splurge. But my splurges have actually changed over like the last year and a half. I actually splurge now on healthier things. Now, there are healthy peanut butter cups out there. Justin's, have you heard of Justin's? Justin's is delicious. Justin's doesn't have any chemicals. So that is a way to splurge on something that's a bit healthier than like Reese's, for example. But it tastes way better than Reese's too, by the way. But it is high in fat. It's high in calories, but it's a splurge. So the things that I splurge on now are very different from what I used to splurge on. And I try to make sure I'm not eating chemicals. But again, I'm not perfect. I just do the best I can. But I don't think you have to do it 100%. I don't even think you have to do it 85%. Because like I said, I lost the majority of my weight when I was probably eating like 60% clean. So, it can be done. And then the healthier you get, the more you're going to want to eat clean because your body starts to feel amazing. And the cleaner that you eat, the better you feel. And the less you crave that old stuff that you used to eat, which I also thought was very interesting. I stopped craving some of my favorite foods. So, it's okay, like I said, to splurge. So, but, one thing that I also found on my journey is after many months of not eating certain of the quote unquote bad foods, I would sometimes splurge and say, okay, I'm going to eat this now. I would feel so bad. My body would feel so bad afterwards because of the chemicals and everything. And so that's why eventually I just decided to stop putting that stuff into my body. But the problem is that if you're eating that stuff on a regular basis, like if you're eating a lot of processed foods, restaurant food, fast food on a regular basis, the way that your body feels, that's your normal. So you don't even realize how bad it's making you feel. So the more you can get yourself away from those things, the better your body's going to feel and you're going to be able to notice a huge difference. One other thing that I do and that really helped me on my journey was making healthier versions of my favorite comfort foods. That was one of my really saving graces there. So a lot of people tell me, Jennifer, I already know how to eat clean. I already know that, but I just can't commit to myself. So if you fall into that category, here are my suggestions for you. Start with making small, gradual changes because small, gradual changes lead to habit change. If you try to change too much at once, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're not going to be able to do it because no human being can do that. So if you just commit to small, gradual changes, you're going to be more likely to succeed. Once those changes become habits, then you can add a few more changes you want to make. So some examples here. When I first started, my changes that I committed to were 1, to drink enough water every day because I wasn't doing that. Second thing was to take a multivitamin every day. So to me, these were easy. You want to make sure that whatever small gradual changes you're committing to, that they're easy for you and they don't overwhelm you. If they overwhelm you, you need to change your goal or what you're trying to change. My third goal that I committed to at the beginning of my journey was to track my food every day. Now, this is overwhelming to some people, but it was not to me because I had done it in the past and I was really good at it and I already knew everything about it. And I was not just looking at calories. I was looking at all of the major nutrients and balancing and making sure that my body got enough of all of the major nutrients that it needed. And then the weight just started falling off. Because when I first started, I couldn't do much exercise. I told you I had severe foot issue. So the only exercise I could do was swimming. So I did do swimming, but I was so big that even swimming was hard for me. I was so out of shape. So I was only doing like 20 minutes of exercise 2 to 3 times a week when I first started. So, and that was only in the pool, like I said, because that's all I could do because of my feet. So I lost within the first 3 months of not doing much exercise, I lost almost 60 pounds just by focusing on nutrition. And by the way, I messed up a ton of times during that 3 months. I mean, I remember the beginning of my journey where I went to I just had these severe cravings and I went to like 2 different fast food restaurants and got like 2 different meals. So the point is, if you mess up, don't quit, keep going. And actually, that's going to be my third point on the slide. So let's talk about the second one before I go into that anymore. So write down your goals and your why and read these daily to stay focused. Your why this should be very detailed. This is why you want to get healthy. Really think about it. Don't say like, I want to lose 50 pounds. It's not about weight. Let me give you some examples of my why. My why were I wanted to live as long as possible. And I wanted to be there for my nieces and my nephews. I personally don't have children, so for me, it was important to be there for my nieces and my nephews. The other thing, too, is I wanted to live a high quality of life. I was not living being so huge. I basically became a hermit. I didn't want anybody to see me. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed about how big I had let myself get. And like, even if I didn't even want strangers to see me, strangers or people I knew to see me. Something else on my why was I didn't want to sweat like just by barely doing activity. I was sick and tired of that. I was sick and tired of being so out of shape. I also wouldn't fly because I had to wear a seatbelt extender. And also I knew that I would be not really fitting into the seat and it would become uncomfortable. So I wrote down a whole list of these things that my weight was preventing me from doing. And the biggest thing it was preventing me from doing was living my life. And so I really detailed my why, and I read my goals and my why daily to keep my mind in the right place, because I can tell you in the first few months, it was really the hardest. It was really hard for me to stay focused. But reading my why and my goals really helped me. The other thing too, is if you lose motivation, a lot of people tell me that, they're really excited at first, but then after a month or so, they just start losing motivation. That's a really great time to read your why, because that's going to remind you why you're doing this. Your why should be so motivating that it's more motivating than eating that pizza or eating that fast food or eating that bag of chips or bag of cookies or like whatever it is. Your why should really be where you dig deep and try to figure out what you're trying to do why you want to correct your health. Like I said, if you make a mistake, learn from it, reassess, move on. Don't quit. That is so important. And that's where I made a mistake so many times in the past. I was like all or nothing for me in the past. I was like, okay, I'm not perfect. I just can't do this. I don't have any willpower, and I would quit. It's not about willpower. And you're a human being. You're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Guess what? I still make mistakes, but I still lost 185 pounds and I've been able to keep it off for almost a year now. So the point is, it doesn't matter about the mistakes. What matters is, are you going to let that derail you? Are you going to let that mistake derail you? Are you going to let it make you quit? And you should not do that. Just learn from it. Do better the next time. Learn how to put yourself and your health first. Like I said, this is one of the most important things here. You have to put yourself and your health first, because without that, you're not going to be able to take care of your other responsibilities in your life for very long. Hold yourself accountable and find support. That is so crucial. It's so crucial to be able to find support. Somebody you can talk to, somebody who can help inspire you and motivate you. That's really going to be crucial for you. So I'm going to talk quickly about these action items. So with these action items, if you implement these into your life immediately, you're going to see results. And by the way, these action items will be emailed to you, and the email that's going to be sent out about an hour and a half from now. So you don't, if you want to write these down, you can. Otherwise, you're going to get this in the email that will be sent. So first thing is to write down 1 to 2 attainable promises or goals that you can commit to and put these promises into action. Note that I use the word attainable. You want to make sure that these things do not overwhelm you. They should be easy. They should be easy for you. That's what you want. Write down your why and read it daily to stay focused. Particularly read it when you feel unmotivated. I also suggest starting to crowd out one unhealthy food by replacing it with the healthier version. So crowding out is a strategy I teach my clients. So basically, you gradually replace less nutritious foods with healthy foods and just focus on one food at a time. So an example here, maybe you're eating Heinz ketchup and you see, okay, Heinz ketchup has high fructose corn syrup. So I'm going to try to get a different ketchup that doesn't have all those chemicals in it, and sugar, like fake sugar and stuff like that. So that could be an example. Write down examples of where you're not putting yourself first and how you can make small changes to improve. Maybe you're always putting your kids first or your work first or whatever. And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to neglect your work or your children. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you need to spend 8 hours a day on yourself. What I'm saying is you need to start small. You need to start small, finding that time for yourself, whether it's 15 minutes a day, whether it's 10 minutes a day, whether it's 20 minutes a day, whatever it is. You need to give yourself that time. And in that time, you can do whatever you want. If you want to exercise, if you want to meditate, if you want to plan a meal or cook a healthy meal, like whatever you want to do, start small. Just start giving yourself some time because you deserve it and you need it for your sanity and for your health. I want to talk about some success stories. The first success story is Sam. Sam's 68 years old. He's lost a total of 160 pounds with coaching from me. His blood pressure and cholesterol have dramatically improved. He has increased energy and he's much more active. And this is actually my father, and I'm so unbelievably proud of him. He has struggled with weight issues since he was a teenager. Like I said, he's 68 years old, and a lot of people tell me they're too old to lose weight, but I'm telling you, you're never too old to create these healthy habits. You're never too old. He has added years onto his life, and he did this by learning the techniques that I teach my clients, and he applied these techniques. So I just want to say well done to my dad. It's simply amazing. Well done. Great job. The next story is about Debbie. So she's 65 years old. She's lost a total of 75 pounds with coaching from me. She's no longer a type 2 diabetic. As a result of the nutrition changes and the nutrition information I taught her, she has been able to go off of her type 2 diabetes medication. She was on that medication for 15 years, and she's been off that medication now since last November. So she also has increased energy and lower cholesterol. And actually today I found out that her cholesterol is now normal. She just got her blood test results back today. So that's amazing. This is my mother, and she has done an amazing job by, implementing those small gradual changes and learning how to put herself first. As a coach, I can advise and inform and support people, but I can't do the work, right? It comes down to you. So Sam and Debbie have put in the work, and I just want to say a big congratulations to you guys. I want to talk a little bit about my other clients. So in only 9 months of being in business, I've helped people lose over 100 pounds and counting. Once my clients learn how to put themselves first, they correct many of their health issues, such as eliminating migraines, balancing hormones, better digestion, improved blood pressure and cholesterol, also sugar levels, better sleep, more energy, and less aches and pains. And by the way, those things that I just listed there, like migraines, hormones, digestion, that's all a result of nutrition, by the way. You cannot, a lot of people think that they can exercise for, 4 hours a day or 3 hours a day and eat however they want. Well, no, you can't. You cannot exercise off a bad diet. Nutrition, it's mindset and nutrition. Those are the most important things here. And that is a picture of one of my clients, Veronica, who has done really well. So I want to talk a little bit more about how you can find support, because as I mentioned, support is a critical piece of being successful with habit change. So a lot of people tell me, some of their friends and family are not being supportive of their, healthy lifestyle changes. So I want to invite you to my free Facebook group. So a lot of you are already in this group. If you are, hello. But if you're not in this group, I definitely would love to have you with us. And basically, this is a private group and it's completely free. So we're a support group of like-minded individuals who are trying to lose weight and reach our health goals. I give daily support. I give tips, suggestions, and I do live videos. And since this is a private group, if you like a post or comment on a post, nobody else is going to see it except for the people in the group. So it's a completely confidential group. Whatever you say is confidential. So this address is also going to be in the email that's going to be sent out after this webinar. So if you want to write that down now, you can. Otherwise, you can just click on it from the email that you're going to receive shortly. So there's never going to be a right time to commit to yourself or start changing. So that's why I really urge you to start now, because life is short and you deserve to be healthy and happy. And I know that if you implement just one of those action steps that we talked about, you're going to see immediate results, but we can go even deeper. So earlier I promised that I would share with you more about how we can go further and about my group program. So if you're ready to learn how to make lifelong habit changes so that you can make yourself and your health your number one priority, then my online group guided program is for you. So if you're ready to improve your health and wellness, have more energy, lose weight, then I want to show you step by step how you can do this. And I just want to clarify something really quick. I am a health coach. I do not sell any products. I do not sell any teas, any drugs, any shakes, any this, that. I mean, hopefully you understand that, because I just said that I lost all this weight without that. But some people still ask me that question. They think I'm trying to sell like a quick fix or something. I don't sell quick fixes because they don't work. What I do is I sell coaching. That is what I do. I am a coach. I coach people on how to get healthier. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. So I'm really excited to invite you to my Unlock the Thinner and Healthier You program, where I'm personally going to guide you step by step. This is a 5-week group guided online program. So it's online. That means you can participate no matter where you live. And you're going to learn how to eat clean without deprivation. And you're also going to learn how to change your mindset so that you can lose the weight and you can, not beat yourself up when you make a mistake and that kind of stuff. So during this program, I'm going to teach you the same tools that I teach my private clients so that you can lose the weight for good and achieve your other health issues. So if you have high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, skin issues, digestive issues, maybe you just want to lose some weight, maybe you have trouble putting yourself first or committing to yourself, then this program is for you. So during this program, you're going to learn how to set those small attainable goals so that you can set yourself up for success. A lot of times with my clients, when they set their initial goals, their goals are not attainable. And so I will help you figure out how to create attainable goals. So you, like I said, so you can set yourself up for success. You're also going to learn how to motivate yourself when you get stuck so that you don't give up on yourself. You're going to learn how to commit to yourself and put yourself first no matter what. Like I mentioned before, you're going to learn how to eat clean without deprivation. We're also going to talk about eating organic, how to eat healthy on the go, how to make the most out of meal planning and meal prepping. So if you've struggled with cravings, weight, lack of energy, self-sabotage, or not finding enough time for yourself, then I'm guessing you've probably tried diets out there that haven't brought you the results you're looking for. And you may be wondering why you should even consider my program. And that's a great question. This program is not a diet. Hopefully you figure that out. This is not a diet. In a diet, you're going to deprive yourself, which understandably causes you to become frustrated and give up. At the end of the day, you're going to find yourself feeling hungry and lethargic. And also diets, like I already mentioned, diets don't focus on mindset. They don't teach you how to make small, gradual, lifelong habit changes. So this program is not about starving your body, fasting, juicing, eating strange foods, taking supplements. This program is about making small, gradual changes to transform your life and put your health first so that you can create a healthy, maintainable lifestyle and achieve your health and wellness goals. So I want to talk a little bit about how this program works. It starts on Monday. And if you register during early bird registration, you're going to save $50 and receive bonuses. I'm going to be talking about those bonuses in just a second. So that's Thursday, this Thursday. You have only a couple more days here. So during this 5-week program, there's going to be a different topic each week. You're going to receive handouts each week covering the week's topic. And you're also going to be given 2 to 3 small homework assignments so that you can implement what you learn. And when I say 2 to 3 small homework assignments, one of those homework assignments is just reading the handouts. So then you're only going to have 1 to 2 other things to do. So during week 1, we're going to talk about how to set small and attainable goals and also how to motivate yourself. Week 2, we're going to talk about how to make yourself your number 1 priority and hold yourself accountable. Week 3, you're going to learn how to read nutrition and ingredient labels so that you can make smarter food choices for yourself and your family. This is one of the biggest keys to my success right here, is actually reading not just the nutrition information, but also the ingredients. Week 4 is all going to be about food tracking and organic food. So food tracking is also a big key to my success. Now, if you don't want to track your food, that's fine. I also, during week 4, will be giving you tips on what you can do if you don't want to track your food. Week 5, we're going to talk about meal planning and prepping, as well as healthy eating on the go and smoothies. So I'm also going to offer a private Facebook group. The private Facebook group is only going to be for participants of this program. There's also going to be a private weekly webinar for the participants where I'm going to discuss the weekly topic and answer any questions that you have. And so obviously, as you can see, I'm going to fully support and guide you to help you transform your life. So what do I get? So you get the Healthy Journey Journal. So this is a journal that you can use throughout the program to write down your goals. You can write down daily reflections or like whatever you want to use it for. I am providing a food diary and weight loss tracker. Now, you might not need this if you're going to track your food, because this stuff is, if you use an app to track your food, this stuff is already in there. But I'm going to provide it to people anyway, just in case you're not tracking your food or if you want the paper versions of these things. I'm also going to be providing over 55 total recipes for omnivores. That includes recipes for juices, breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts. There's also going to be a vegan recipe guide that includes 69 total recipes for, smoothies, breakfast, salads, soups, sides, etc. So these recipes are quick and easy and delicious, and all of the recipes are gluten-free. So if you have a gluten-free or if you have a gluten sensitivity, you don't have to worry because all of this stuff is gluten-free. So then you're going to have the weekly homework assignments. I'm going to be giving you many handouts, which I'll talk about in a second. You're going to get 6 live webinars with me throughout this program, and each webinar will last anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half. Like I said, I'll be going over the materials for the week, and there's going to be a live Q&A during the webinars. You'll also get email support from me. So if you have any questions or if you're struggling with the program or with your commitment to the program, you can reach out to me and I will fully support you. And then, as I mentioned, there's that private Facebook group. The other thing I want to make clear here, because I get this question a lot, there is no set time to do the work. So you can do the reading and assignments anytime during the week. The live webinars are the only thing that is, the date and time is set. And if you can't make the live webinar, the webinars are recorded, so you can watch the replay at your convenience. And then if you have any questions, you can email me or reach out in the Facebook group. So this program is your opportunity to say goodbye to self-sabotage and staying stuck, because with this program, you're finally going to be given an opportunity to learn how to make small, gradual steps so that you can achieve your health goals. And in just 5 weeks, your entire life is going to change because I'm going to be focusing on a proven approach. And I say proven because I've seen massive changes in myself and my clients who implement these tools. So by the end of the program, you're going to know how to take care of yourself, eat clean without deprivation, and you're going to ditch that diet mentality forever. So here's a list of the handouts you're going to get, and I'm not going to go over all of these, and you're not going to get all of these at once. They're going to be split out over the 5 weeks, so don't feel overwhelmed by the number of handouts you see here. So let me just see, Jessica, are the recipes multiple servings? Yes, and you can, usually the recipes, I think it depends on the recipe. Most of the recipes are 2 servings. I think the smoothies might just be 1 serving if I recall correctly. So yeah, and you can, if you wanted to make more than 2 servings, like if you were making the recipes for your meal, for your family or something like that, you could easily double that. If the recipe is 2 servings, you can, save the leftovers, for another meal, something like that. So you can, cook once, but have multiple meals, have enough for multiple meals. So Jessica, I hope that answered your question. Let me know if it did not. Thanks for the question. So as I mentioned, if you register during early bird registration, you're going to save $50 and you're going to receive the following bonuses. You're going to get 9 smoothies that will change your life. So this is 9 smoothie recipes. You're going to get my 10 tips to deal with sugar addiction guide. You're going to get 20 ways to live a charmed life. You're also going to get the superfoods cheat sheet. I have a lot of people coming to me saying, Jennifer, what's a superfood? I don't know how to eat this, how to incorporate it into my nutrition. So this guide is going to talk about the most common superfoods and what the benefits of superfoods are, etc. You're also going to get my top 10 weight loss tips. So again, this is a $50 value. You're going to get it free if you register by Thursday. So, I hope that, like I said, if you have any questions, please type them into the chat box about this program or anything else. But I would be so honored to guide you on your health journey. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know how hard it can be. And I really want you to succeed with your health goals. I really feel passionate to help people realize that they can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. If you had met me a few years ago, I was depressed. I was a hermit. I didn't want to go out because I didn't want anybody to see me. I was basically just sitting at home, eating my stress away, just like sitting here, just binge eating and just feeling terrible about myself. So if I could go from that to where I am now, I know that you can too. And my Unlock the Thinner and Healthier You program is unlike any of the other programs out there because it teaches you how to change your relationship with yourself and how to commit to yourself so that you can make these long-lasting healthy habit changes. And you're also going to learn how to fuel your body without deprivation, how to give your body the nutrients that it needs. And you're going to learn how to achieve your health goals in a way that fits with your schedule and isn't overwhelming. So you're finally going to be able to create those lifelong healthy habit changes. No, Bridget, I'm going to talk about the price on the next slide. So your total investment, there's 2 payment methods. You can pay in full or you can pay weekly. So if you want to pay in full, I'm offering participants of this webinar an additional 10% off of the early bird savings. So you're going to get that $50 savings if you register. Actually, I said, you know what? I think I have the date wrong in this. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Sorry. If you register within the next 2 days, you're going to save that $50 and you're going to get an additional 10% off. So that means it's only $20.70 per week. The total price is $103.50 if you pay in full. If you pay weekly, it's going to be more, mainly because I get charged a transaction fee for each transaction. So the weekly payment, my system only allows me to give the 10% off on the first payment. So the first payment would be $26.10, which is that early bird savings and 10% off. And then the remaining weeks will be $29 per week. So the total you'd be paying with the weekly payment would be $142.10. So the date on this webinar is wrong. Sorry about that. I gave this webinar a couple of days ago and then I didn't change the date here. Sorry about that. So this discount's only available if you sign up within the next 48 hours. So if you sign up by the end of the day on June 8th, and if you want this additional 10% discount, you need to use this coupon code at checkout. And this coupon code will be in the email that's going to be sent out as well after this webinar. And you can also go to my website. And I'm going to give you a link in just a second. You can go to my website, and if you don't want to wait for the email, and you can enter that coupon code to get the discount. Your health is worth the investment. I really, really hope that if you've had any of these struggles I've talked about, I really hope you consider this program. I want you to know that if you've had trouble making changes in the past, I want to show you that it can be different, especially if you have someone to encourage you, support you, and show you what to do step by step. And also because I've been there, I understand what it's like. And I don't want anything to get in your way, so that's why I'm going to be fully supporting you with your commitment to the program. So there's the link right there at the bottom. Like I said, you're going to get this in the email that's going to be sent out in just a little while. I think in about an hour from now, it's going to be sent out. So that's the cost. And I'm done. So I want to thank you very much for your time. If you have questions about anything, whether it's about the program, about my journey, about what I do, whatever it is, you can email me at info@mckeehealth.com. You can also go to my website. If you sign up for my mailing list, you're going to get a superfood smoothies guide. So you might be interested in that. That's for free. And also you can stay in touch with me on Facebook. I know a lot of you found me through Instagram and Facebook already. Found that link right there is not my journey page. It's just my company page. But a lot of you found me through my journey page. I just want to thank you so very much for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. I'm really grateful. So if you have any questions right now, you can go ahead and type them into the chat box, and I'm going to switch back to the camera. Bridget, I see your question, but I'm going to switch back to the camera and answer the questions. So just give me 1 second here, please. There we go. Okay. So after the 5 weeks, is there any follow-up or advanced programs? Yes. The last webinar, if you go to my website, you can read about this too. It talks about this on the page. It says that, hold on, I'm actually going to display the offer here. So if you click, you should, okay, I just displayed the offer. So you should be able to see, if you click the yes, I want the 10% discount, it'll take you to my webpage. And on the webpage, it talks about how the last webinar will be a transition webinar. So that's where I'm going to talk about your transition plan. So how you can continue to succeed after the program. And I do always offer an additional program to support you after this one for those of you who are interested. So yeah, there will be a follow-up program, but also I'll tell you how you can continue your journey on your own if you want. That's a good question. Thank you. If you have any questions, type them into the chat box. Just let me know. Someone's knocking on my door. Terrible timing. If there's any other questions, okay, if I've already paid for the weekly session, is there a way to get the 10% still? Yes, Rose, you already signed up. So yes, I can do that for you, Rose. Yeah, we can talk offline and I will take care of that for you. No, not a problem. Any other questions? No problem. I'm not seeing any, the calories depend on your age and your current weight and how much weight you're trying to lose. So when I talk about food tracking in this program, you're going to learn about how those ranges will be computed. I'm not a dietitian or nutritionist, so I can't actually tell you the number of calories that you should be eating. Like I said, it all depends on your age and your current weight and how much you're trying to lose. So if I'm supposed to be eating 1,800 calories, that doesn't mean you're supposed to be eating 1,800 calories. So everyone's body is different. So the food tracker during that program is going to give you that information. And if you download one of those free nutrition trackers, I recommend Spark People, which we'll talk about in the program. It will automatically compute those ranges for you. So if you wanted to do that in advance, you could. And you just put in your age, your current weight, and how much you want to lose, and it'll automatically compute what you should be eating. Okay, Gloria, do you have a question? You can go ahead and type it into the chat box. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to type those in as well. That's a really great question, Gloria. It is hard when there are what I call trigger foods in your house. Like if, for example, a trigger food is something that you either can't just eat one serving of, like in other words, you try to eat one serving, but then you end up eating a whole bag, or it's something that is like one of your favorite, like junk foods or whatever, and you just can't say no. Yeah, I think that what happens with that is you have to make a decision, Gloria, that your health is more important than that fleeting satisfaction you're going to get for 2 minutes as you're eating that food. What happens is when you eat that crap, you feel good for like a couple minutes, right? And then as soon as you're done eating it, what happens? You feel guilt, you feel shame, you feel anger with yourself. So you have to come to the point where this is where your why comes into play. Your why has to be so motivating that it doesn't matter what anybody brings into the house. You're going to distance yourself from it. You are going to put yourself in another room if you have to, so you don't have to smell it. You're going to leave the house if you have to, so you don't have to smell it. That doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. Yeah, of course, like sometimes you might eat something that you wish you wouldn't have or whatever. But when you actually start making the commitment to yourself and saying that myself and my health is worth more than that fleeting satisfaction I'm going to get from those foods, then nothing will be able to hold you back. You'll become so empowered. I mean, I know I did. That's what I had to do. I had people trying to sabotage me left, right, and center for the first handful of months I was doing this. Why can't you just eat this, Jennifer? Why can't you just eat a little bit of this? And I said, because I'm very serious about my health goals and I don't want to eat that. And that doesn't mean I wasn't splurging, because I was still eating fast food. But I'm going to be talking more in my group program about how I did that, how I was able to fit fast food into what I was doing and not derail my progress. But the point is you can still eat that stuff once in a while, but you have to be smart about it. And I teach my clients how to be smart about that. But if you are just going to tell yourself you have no willpower, then that is not true. It's not about willpower. It's about getting your mind in the right place, getting your mind to the point where your goals, you getting healthy, is more important than that fleeting satisfaction you're going to get from eating fast food or whatever it is. So I hope I answered your question. Your why can be very motivating for this exact reason. So if you haven't written down a why, definitely do that. But remember, it can't just be, I want to get healthy because I want to lose 50 pounds. That's not really your why. Your why is, like I said, it has to be something that you got to dig deep. You got to figure out, what's happening in my life right now that I want to change. I am doing another program after this one, but not the same program. So I'm probably not going to run this program again for another 3 months. So the next program I do is not going to be this long. It's not going to be, it's not going to have all of this stuff in it about nutrition and stuff. So if you're interested in that side of things and the mindset, this is one of my few programs that incorporates both mindset and nutrition. I ran this program a few months ago, and now I'm running it again. So like I said, I probably won't be running it again for another 3 months. Denise, is Facebook? No, Facebook is not a requirement. It's just an extra way for me to give people support. But yeah, it's not a requirement. You'll be getting emails from me. You'll be getting a few emails from me during the week. So as long as you have email and you watch the webinar and you should be fine. Any other questions? Good questions. Really good. Okay, I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm just waiting another couple minutes just to see if anybody has any other questions. Like I said, feel free to just type it into the chat box. Let me know. No problem. Okay. I'm not seeing any other questions at this time. If you think of a question after we're done here, like I said, feel free to email me. But yeah, thank you so very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. I have to say that when Heidi wanted to share my story, I was kind of nervous because I hadn't really shared my story with anybody, like except for a few close friends and family. And so when Heidi posted my blog and it was out there for everybody to see, I was ashamed of how big I had let myself get, and sharing that with the world was really scary to me. But once I did that and let go of that fear, I found so much love and support from people. And you guys are some of those people. So I just want to say thank you very much, because it means the world to me. And it made me realize that by sharing my story, if I can just help one person, then it's worth it. So, but yeah, thank you. I'm excited too, Rose. Hi, Terry. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this webinar. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you have a great evening, and hopefully be speaking to you soon. Talk soon. Oh, Erica. Great. Great. Oh, Rose, so you're saying you heard of me through Chris and Heidi? They're amazing people. They're so down to earth, and they genuinely care about helping people. I'm just so grateful for their support and for your support. So thank you. Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great evening. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye.